Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCW Life Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to what's making news, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And tell you what, today the heat was back across north central Washington. 89 our official high yesterday, but we did much better than that. But still a little bit of that haze out there across most of north central Washington and especially into eastern Washington today. And also a few clouds out there, but still a typical summer day here in north central Washington. But I'll tell you what, nothing typical about our temperatures as we head through at least the next 3 days. For tomorrow, we're going to be near 100 degrees. Friday, about 104 and possibly 105 as we get into Saturday and the weekend. And I'll have all those details coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. The county health administrator says the spike in new COVID-19 cases in Chelan and Douglas counties in the past 2 weeks is being driven by the Delta variant of the virus. A Waterville man who proposed a sexual encounter between himself, his wife, and a 15-year-old boy will now spend 16 months in prison. An illegal orchard burn near Monitor from back in April sprung back to life early Monday morning. But first, our top story tonight. Rising case rates in Chelan and Douglas counties have led to a new high in COVID-19 hospitalizations. 24 people were under care at Central Washington Hospital as of Tuesday. That's the highest number since January. New positive tests are also on the rise. The two counties now have a case rate of 199 per 100,000 members of the population for the week ending July 25th. Health officials continue to encourage vaccination, masking, and social distancing to bring the coronavirus under control. Well, the county health administrator says the spike in new COVID-19 cases in Chelan and Douglas counties in the past 2 weeks is being driven by the Delta variant of the virus. Luke Davies of the Chelan Douglas Health District was interviewed today by NCW Life's Dan Kuntz about why we're experiencing yet another wave of COVID-19. Dan's full interview can be seen tomorrow on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley.
Yeah, our cases have tripled in the last 3 weeks. And that's with our incredible vaccination rate that we've had in Chelan and Douglas County of our eligible populations. And, you know, that just shows you how virulent this new Delta variant is. You know, it is about 4 times as infectious as the original COVID-19 wild type is what we call it. And it is, you know, I like to think of vaccines kind of like Red Rover. If you've got a vaccinated group, you've got a line of protection between individuals who are unvaccinated or are vulnerable. And this Delta variant is just blowing through the vaccine lines and creating havoc in our unvaccinated communities.
A Waterville man who proposed a sexual encounter between himself, his wife, and a 15-year-old boy will now spend 16 months in prison. 23-year-old Dylan L. O'Gara Smith pleaded guilty on Monday in Douglas County Superior Court to 7 charges, including felony harassment, assault, communicating with a minor for immoral purposes, and wielding a firearm. His wife, Adriana Renee Jones, is charged with third-degree child rape. Prosecutors said O'Gara Smith propositioned the youth in August of 2019, and after Jones had sex with the victim that October, he threatened the boy with a shotgun. 16 months is the high end of the sentencing range for the most serious of the charges. Jones is scheduled to enter a plea to her statutory rape charge later this week. Well, a legal orchard burn near Monitor from back in April sprung back to life early Monday morning. Firefighters received a call at 4:02 a.m. of visible flames in an orchard in the 3100 block of Fairview Canyon Road. Chelan County Fire District 1 spokeswoman Kay McKellar said somehow the winds and sustained heat reignited that burn. Chelan County Fire District 6 responded to the fire, which was being doused by the property owner. Well, coming up next, fire officials say even with stronger winds expected today, the air quality in the Winthrop area isn't likely to improve and could get even worse today. Central Washington's 2 representatives in Congress are asking for drought relief for America's farms and orchards. The final segment of the Leavenworth Foothills Bike Trail has been approved by the Forest Service, and the Moses Lake Police Department was once again featured on the Discovery Network program Body Cam last night, and we'll show you the video. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life Evening News.
I'm Jared Sessler. You know, lately America's taken a few hits. Some say we've gotten behind, but know this, you can never count America out. Our commitment to hard work, innovation, and our love for freedom means we are poised for our greatest victories ever. The red, white, and blue has never been stronger, and that's why I'm your Republican candidate for Congress. Our setbacks are just a setup for our comeback. I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Make being home fun again. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa has just what you need to bring fun back into your backyard. We have a wide selection of artesian spas and swim spas, new and used to choose from. We are happy to announce we are now selling Rainbow Kids play structures with 50 models to choose from. To help finish off your entertainment area, we have patio furniture and Komodo Joe grills. At Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, we have just what you need to bring family fun and entertainment to your backyard. Stop by today.
Welcome back. In another news, fire officials say even with stronger winds expected today, the air quality in the Winthrop area isn't likely to improve and could get even worse. Smoke from a pair of big nearby fires has choked Winthrop and Twist for more than a week. Throughout the evening and this morning, the air quality in Winthrop was again measured at hazardous levels. The Cedar Creek fire to the south of Winthrop has burned more than 38,500 acres, and the Cub Creek fire to the north has burned more than 52,000 acres. Fire commanders said today a stronger up-valley flow will improve conditions in some areas of the Methow Valley, but the winds are likely to channel additional smoke into communities closer to the fires like Twisp, Winthrop, and Mazama. Central Washington's 2 representatives in Congress are asking for drought relief for American farms and orchards. Dan Newhouse of the 4th District and Kim Schreier of the 8th signed on to a letter Tuesday to Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack asking for financial and technical aid amid this year's historic drought and heat wave. They say Northwest cherry growers have already lost an estimated 20% of this year's crop, and similar damage is expected in other fields of agriculture. Senators Maria Cantwell and Patty Murray also endorsed that letter. Well, mountain bike enthusiasts have won approval from the Forest Service to improve a trail complex near Leavenworth. The Evergreen Mountain Bike Alliance can now develop the last planned section of the trail system above the Leavenworth ski hill. The improvement will join a new uphill trail to the popular Rosie Boa Trail, adding more than a mile of distance with 300 feet of elevation. Trail builders say getting the work approved as part of the Ranger District's master plan will create new options for backcountry cyclists in the upper Wenatchee Valley. Well, the Moses Lake Police Department was again featured on the Discovery Network program Body Cam last night. This time, the program showed police body cam footage from the fatal shooting of a robbery suspect February 28th in Moses Lake. During that incident, K-9 Chief was shot in the eye by the suspect. Chief later recovered but did not return to active duty. The program is still available to watch on the streaming services Investigation Discovery or Discovery Plus. You're watching the NCW Life Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCW Life Evening News. Please stay with us.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
What you're doing is ridiculous.
Well,
I mean, you might as well throw up a screen door to block the summer smoke.
sometimes it gets
When we
warm.
breathe in the wildfire smoke, we are ingesting hazardous chemicals such as acetic acid and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. A lot of bad stuff, okay?
Well, yeah, that's why we.
Cardboard ain't gonna cut it.
So.
Go to chelanpud.org/save today.
I'm Dr. Wayne Latimer. I'm a chiropractic physician. I have postgraduate certifications in both whiplash, trauma, and rehab, as well as sports medicine. The location is great. The light and the visibility, the 17-foot ceilings are fantastic. You can go into a lot of clinics, and it's very clinical. People really like the spa environment, so my whole premise was take a spa environment, add the very serious rehab, and give people an enjoyable way to get better over time.
Welcome back to the NCW Life Evening News. In tonight's feature story, Governor Jay Inslee said earlier today that masking requirements for students in kindergarten through 12th grade schools will remain in place for the 2021-22 school year, in large part because of rising infections in the state. For adults in those outside school settings, Inslee said the state will continue to recommend masking indoors, although that will not be mandatory.
Today I'm announcing that we will continue our safe practices of masking for our students and our young people, and we will ask people to consider masking in other conditions consistent with the CDC recommendations. I want to show you what I mean by this. The cases going up, you'll see the epi curve that has shown the previous 4 waves. We now are in another wave. You might call it the 5th wave, but whatever you call it, these numbers are going up dramatically. And that is most concerning, because while our hospitals today can handle the disease load, that curve is very steep, essentially as steep as it has been in most of the previous waves, and unfortunately is consistent with many of the, if not all of the places across the United States that are similarly experiencing the attack of this Delta variant. We know the dominant variant today is the Delta variant. It is twice as infectious. It is more likely to cause serious illness, and it is easily the most dangerous mutation to date of this virus. And we know that this curve is trending upward. You might think of this as a new virus in some sense, given how different it is from the previous virus mutations. We would have liked to have thought that when we have reached this level of vaccination that we would have blunted this virus. But it turns out, the science shows us that the mutations that have occurred in this virus are significantly more infectious. That makes it very clear to us that there is one way out of this pandemic, and that is more vaccinations. But until we get more people vaccinated, we've got to be cautious, and that's what we are being today.
All right, switching gears now. Let's take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. First, we'll begin with a look outside our weather window from our Omi Gardens Sky-Fi Tower camera, and you can see just a little bit of that haze hanging around the Wenatchee Valley. Partly cloudy skies throughout most of the day today too, but all in all, a pretty normal, late July summer day here in north central Washington. Unofficially high temperature today. It did get warm out there. 95 degrees, 89 was our official high yesterday. 95 is 5 degrees above where we should be at 90. Once again, another morning in the 70s, and we're going to see a lot of those coming up as well. 64 is our normal overnight low. 105, our record high. That was set back in 1998. Record low 52 in 1995. Sunrise this morning, 5:35. The sun sets for us tonight at 8:39. Let's take a look at what we can expect as we get you into Thursday. And temperatures are just going to continue to warm up as we make our way into the end of the week. 99s for Moses Lake and Ephrata tomorrow, 100 in Quincy and Wenatchee, 98 down at Ellensburg. Also Kashmir, you have a good chance of seeing the century mark as well. And then 99s all the way up the Highway 97 corridor until you get to Omak. Also tomorrow, a scorching 99 degrees. Surface loop time, and tonight we'll see mostly clear skies, a light breeze. Once again, ridge is up and over us. There is an area of low pressure off the Pacific coast. That will affect us later in our forecast, and we'll get to that in a second. But tonight's temperatures, once again, expected to be upper 60s and lower 70s. For Thursday, we just talked about it, our first day of triple-digit temperatures. And that begins tomorrow and should run through at least Saturday. And wait till you see some of those temperatures. Friday begins the real hot weather as our ridge right over the Pacific Northwest, an area of low pressure, continues to drag some of that hot air up. We're talking highs near 105 degrees for Friday. A few more clouds, as you can see on Saturday, but it's still going to be hot with high temperatures between 100 and 105 degrees. But here's that fetch of moisture that's beginning to move up from the southwest, area of low pressure to our north too. And look at by Sunday, we have a chance. There is a chance, a 20% chance for showers on Sunday. We're hoping no lightning is associated with that. And it's going to cool us down too. So Sunday's highs mainly in the middle 90s. And then as we kick off our next work week on Monday, once again, that ridge firmly in place. We're going to see unseasonably warm weather with temperatures in the mid 90s. And towards the end of our 7-day forecast, more of the same. Mostly sunny skies. Temperatures will remain slightly above normal. Keep in mind that by next week, normal high will be about 91. We're talking highs on Tuesday in the mid 90s. Let's take a look now at your 7-day forecast. Tonight, 70 degrees, 100 for Thursday, 104 for both Friday and Saturday. How about 80 degrees for an overnight low on Saturday before we see partly cloudy skies, maybe a shower on Sunday and cooler with 94 expected. And then as we get you into the first part of next week, both Monday and Tuesday, mostly sunny to sunny skies with high temperatures then, primarily in the mid 90s. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCW Life Evening News continues right after this.
My name is Catherine Thomas, and I'm running for the Wenatchee School Board. The school board should work for the parents of this community, and I want to bring the public back to the public schools. I'm a registered nurse, the wife of a medical professional, and the mother of a Wenatchee high school student. I'm running to bring common sense, courage, commitment, and compassion back to the public schools. Vote Catherine Thomas for the Wenatchee School Board.
Raising a family may have seemed overwhelming to your parents, but they weren't. Coach, teacher, life guide, caregiver. Family takes care of family. And as the circle of life continues, you now are their caregiver. It may seem overwhelming, but we're here to help you find the support services necessary so you can provide quality care to your elders.
Call Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington at 1-800-572-4459.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a happy Wednesday to you. It's been a crazy week for the Seattle Mariners. First, they won a dramatic 11-8 win over Houston Monday in a grand slam home run by Dylan Moore after trailing at 1.7-0. Then word came down that relief pitcher Kendall Graveman, a favorite in the Seattle clubhouse, was traded. Apparently, this didn't sit well with the Mariner players, who reportedly felt betrayed and equipment was damaged in the clubhouse. Graveman appeared before reporters in tears prior to Tuesday's game, saying he loves his teammates and with the Mariners and is in shock. Seattle also traded reliever Rafael Montero. In return, the Mariners got switch-hitting infielder Abraham Toro and veteran reliever Joe Smith. Later last night, Seattle also traded with Pittsburgh to get starting left-hander Tyler Anderson in exchange for a minor league catcher and pitcher. Well, the hangover from the news and crazy game Monday seemed to linger into Tuesday's contest. Chris Flexen shelled for 7 runs on 9 hits in 4 innings as the Astros beat the Mariners 8-6. There were some highlights, however, as Kyle Seager tried to help the M's come back at the bottom of the first, trailing 3-0.
High towering fly ball. This is back out of the warning track, and it's gone! Up to the penthouse and over the wall. Seager's 9th career 20-homer season.
Former Mariner Mike Cameron joined Aaron Goldsmith and Mike Blowers on the broadcast on Root Sports as Seattle was looking for some magic in the 9th again, trailing by 4. They found a little spark in Abraham Toro's first ever at-bat in a Mariner uniform.
High fly, right field, and at the wall, gets it, and it's over the wall! Blanco over the fence! And welcome to town! It's a 2-run game!
Oh my God.
Just a towering fly ball on the breaking ball. Wasn't sure it had enough. Kyle Tucker, the right fielder, thought he had it. It goes off the side of his glove. Thank you very much.
Well, that would be it, though. Houston held on for the 8-6 victory. 2 teams playing the rubber mat to that 3-game set today. Yusei Kikuchi against Jake Odorizzi, and the early marks were not good for the Mariners. They were down 6-0, and that one will have the results tomorrow on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Good news for Seattle. They didn't lose any ground in the wild card race as Oakland fell to San Diego 7-4. Fernando Tatis Jr. hit a 2-run homer for the Padres. Joey Gallo's 3-run home run highlighted a 5-run fourth, and Texas made it hold up in a 5-4 win over Arizona. Despite Shohei Ohtani's 36th homer, Angels were clubbed by Colorado 12-3. Well, the road trip in Bend didn't start so well for the Apple Sox last night, falling 10-2. Covering for Joel Norman, Riley Chestnut tells us things got off to a rocky start for Cole Hatton on the mound, and it went downhill from there.
In the series opening loss, Apple Sox starter Cole Hatton gave up 2 runs in the first inning off 2 base hits with an error to lead off the game. After the Apple Sox got only 1 base hit in their first 3 innings of work, Hatton was staring down danger with 3 Elks on base and only 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd. But Hatton induced his 3rd double play in his last 2 starts when Adam Grove, the shortstop, completed the 6-3 DP. Immediately after the exciting escape, right fielder Enzo Apodaca squeezed a solo home run to lead off the top of the Wenatchee 4th. Alas, the Sox could not capitalize any further. Hatton left after giving up 6 runs in 4 1/3 innings of work, 4 of which were earned, while walking 2 and striking out 4 and hitting a season-high 4 Elks.
Wenatchee and Bend play again tonight at 6:35. Other West Coast League play, leadoff man Travis Bazzana was 3 for 4 with 3 runs and 2 ribbies. Led Corvallis to a 6-3 win over Walla Walla. Willie Lajoie was 3 for 5 with 4 runs and 2 RBIs to lead Yakima Valley to a 12-8 win. Riku Nishida was a home run away from the cycle for the Bears. Ryan Gordino's 3-run home run highlighted a 5-run second inning for Portland as the Pickles topped Port Angeles 9-2. Non-league play, Brady Casper's walk-off single at the bottom of the 9th scored Caden Connor as Ridgefield beat Redmond 1-0. The Bells also had a walk-off win over Cascade Collegiate in Bellingham as Ryan Beidle's RBI single in the 9th scored A.J. Davis for the 4-3 win. Well, checking the second half standings in the West Coast League, Yakima Valley holds a 2-game edge over Bellingham in the North. while Corvallis is 2 games in front of Cowlitz and Ridgefield in the South. The Bells are 4 games in front of Wenatchee and Walla Walla in the chase for the second best overall record in the North standings. If the Pippins hang on to win the second half, the team with the second best overall record will get the second spot in the playoffs. Tonight, across the WCL, same as last night, Wenatchee at Bend, Corvallis hosting Walla Walla, Cowlitz visits Yakima Valley, Redmond at Ridgefield, Bellingham hosting Cascade Collegiate, and Port Angeles visiting Portland. Well, today was the final day for the Wenatchee Wild training camp at the community rink at the Town Toyota Center. Over 80 players were trying to impress the coaches and administrators for the Wild to earn a spot on this year's roster. I caught up with General Manager Bliss Littler on day 1 of camp to see how the organization was able to cope through COVID.
Well, the world is right once again. We've got ice in the arena. We got hockey players in town. Bliss Littler joining us here with the Wenatchee Wild on the NCW Life Channel. Bliss, I did the math. Well, I had the computer help me do the math. Between March 6th, our last playoff game, and our first regular season game, 589 days. My first question for you is, how does an organization stay afloat during something like that?
Well, two things. One, David White, owner. I mean, obviously we didn't lay anybody off. We had 14 full-time employees. We kept everybody employed.
That's incredible.
When our players left the Monday of Thanksgiving, obviously we had no home games, but when our players left, I talked to David White. I said, well, how do you want me to handle staff? And he said, it's not their fault. And he said, give them an opportunity to earn their paycheck. I don't want people sitting around doing Facebook, but all those little projects, things that if you've wanted to do in the past, give everybody an opportunity. And that, and all the corporate sponsors and season ticket holders, that they were all told, hey, we'll give you 100% a full refund right now, or if you want to roll it over, we can roll it over. And there are a decent amount that just rolled things over.
And that says a lot too, because those businesses, it was hard on them too.
Oh, there were, and there were several corporate sponsors that said, "Do you have to lay everybody off?" He said, "We're not going to," and they said, "Hey, you know what? Keep it. We'll sign this contract. Move it forward to next year." And there were several that just caring people out here that I think a lot of people, even if they're not hockey fans, they realize that the Wild are very valuable to the community. That over the first 10 years, when they look back at being the vehicle for youth sports, dance teams, service clubs, that we didn't write the check, but we were the vehicle for them to be able to raise over $1 million. So it's about $100,000 a year that through Chuck-a-Puck, 50-50 and jersey auctions. So I think there are a lot of people that realize that, hey, this is very important to the community.
Good to have the Wild back. That's sports. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. On Thursday's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, I'll have a conversation with Luke Davies, the administrator of the Chelan and Douglas Health District. We have some fresh COVID numbers for our area, and it ain't good. Luke will give us the latest info on what's going on in the world of COVID-19, including the new variants that are making the rounds. We'll have that very important conversation with you in its entirety on Thursday's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, plus news, sports, weather, and everything else. We'll set the table for you. Have breakfast with me tomorrow at 7 a.m. We're live and local for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley right here from Studio 4. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
Wenatchee Apple Sox baseball is on the NCW Life Channel. Join us for live play-by-play coverage of the Apple Sox Friday, July 23rd as they host the Yakima Valley Pippins at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Pregame takes the air at 6:30 with a first pitch at 6:35. It's the Pippins and the Apple Sox as we celebrate summer one inning at a time. Live on your local TV station, the NCW Life Channel.
Do you have a fun or interesting video you'd like to see featured here on the NCW Life Channel? It's easy. All you have to do is send us an email at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.